you? Oh, really?
Bob, is this your first time in the Netherlands?
No, I actually came here about 15 years ago. I was traveling.
As a student, or?
Oh, like, yeah, between working and stuff like that, yeah. I had a very, very Amsterdam experience. Because I don't smoke pot, but I did.
When I came here, like the Amsterdam experience.
Yeah, I definitely had one of those. I got lost in the city and all that kind of stuff. But not this time around. The first time, when I was younger.
Are you going to hang out in the Netherlands after ComiCon? Or?
No, I'm heading straight back to Los Angeles. You know, I got the weekend off, and then I'll go back and look after.
Really?
My son.
To a new project that you're working on.
No, currently I am being a stay-at-home dad while my wife Eliza is shooting something in Los Angeles. So yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah,
because you got a child last year, right, with Eliza?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, did you met her on set, or because you married your co-star?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
No, well, we had met each other, I think, about 10 years before we started shooting the 100, and then we're like best friends throughout shooting, and then we became married and parents now. So yeah.
That's insane.
It's pretty insane, yeah, but it's pretty awesome.
And I'm not going to ask too many personal questions. Do you like the new life as a dad?
Pardon me?
Do you like your new life as a dad?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's definitely, like, there's a lot of challenges, but that's far outweighed by the joy that Henry brings. Like, it's an amazing thing, but a totally different perspective on the way I live my life now, for sure.
And you just had your first Father's Day, right?
It's actually my second.
Second?
Yeah.
Is it weird, or do you enjoy it?
Not real. I mean, it's not weird. It's I don't think about it too much. Yeah.
Right. Behind the scenes, we were just talking, and you are doing Comic Cons for like 10 years now. You said.
Yeah, I've been doing. Yeah, I've been going to conventions for almost a decade now. Yeah, the 100 we started shooting the 100 10 years ago. Yes. So yeah, it's been a while that I've been traveling around doing this.
And also at San Diego, the biggest one in the world.
Yeah.
How is that, to be at San Diego, to be on stage, just...
Yeah, San Diego is wild, and it's an amazing thing, like, especially when you're promoting a show. It's a lot more publicity and interviews and everything like that, so it's a little bit different. I prefer these kind of conventions where I get to meet fans and chat with them, whereas at San Diego, it's a lot more about doing interviews and taking photos and going to events, whereas other conventions like this one, you get to actually sit down and say, hey, yeah.
It's a bit more personal, right?
Yeah.
Today. Well, I'm curious, because you are an actor, and what inspired you to become an actor?
I think that I just enjoy. I did it all through high school, and it was just a fun place to exist, and I think it's kind of cathartic in a way, and just to play make-believe. I really fell in love with it as a process, and yeah, just kind of stuck with it because it's something that I really love and enjoy. So yeah.
Was there like a favorite actor or favorite role that you saw that you were like, yeah, I have to be an actor now?
No, not particularly. More a personal experience, whereas directing is much more a pragmatic thing as well. So I'd love to live in a world where I can do both. You know.
Would you direct your own movie and star in it? Like Woody Allen or something?
I don't know, maybe not Woody Allen.
I didn't say Woody Allen, sorry. That's somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would, but it also, I think that's a lot of work to do. I think I'd rather have somebody else act in it.
And one question about the directing then. Which movie did you wish you could have directed?
I don't know, I don't really think in those terms. Like, there's a lot of movies that I see, or even TV shows that I see that I'm like, oh, I would have done that differently, or X, Y, and Z, but yeah, there's no one particular one that I wish that I could have directed. There are so many other aspects that come into it, like those blockbusters. Those directors have so much pressure on them to deliver a product for the thing, so if I was to direct something, it'd probably be an indie where I had a bit more freedom to shoot
nice.
that I wanted to do.
I like that answer. And of course, the 100, it wrapped up nowadays.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it, that it's wrapped up?
Yeah, like it's been about 3 years now, and I think Eliza and I, maybe like 4 months ago, we revisited we watched an episode of the show. Like we both just hadn't watched it at all, and then we're like one day we're like, yeah, let's just like watch an episode and see how we feel. And it was super weird watching it again, but yeah, after having 3 years away from it, I can really appreciate it much more now, and yeah, really proud of the show. Yeah.
But you never watched The 100 yourself, then?
I would watch it to kind of analyse what I could do better, or what I, you know, in terms of performance-wise, but not necessarily watching it as pure enjoyment. It's very hard to do when you're so closely involved with a project to kind of lose yourself in it.
Well, looking back, like 10 years ago, what's the biggest pointer you got for yourself? If you look back, like the younger version of Bellamy played.
Well, one thing that I think that becoming a father has taught me is that work isn't everything. There has to be a balance. I think when I was younger, and especially with 100, it became everything to me, and I put so much of my whole life was involved with 100 and the work. So I'd probably say, hey, like, find a balance between work and life. You need to be able to separate your work from your day-to-day. Yeah.
And going really back to the beginning, when you read the first script of The 100, did you consider this could be my breakthrough role? The whole world's going to know me as Bellamy now?
No, when I first read it, I just read it for Bellamy and just saw that character and was excited by bringing him to life. And I, yeah, kind of had a connection to him early on. And then when I read the pilot, I thought it was really fun. Yeah.
And when did you realize that the 100 became so big? Because there must have been a point. I mean, you were guys who were shooting just a show, and all of a sudden there's a whole crowd in front of you.
I think it's only really dawned on me since we finished. Like, to do a show for 7 seasons is pretty rare these days, and yeah, like, looking back now, it's like, wow, that's wild.
But if they were to hit you up right now, they call you for a spin-off or a prequel or something, would you do it?
Depends who's involved, but possibly.
Yeah, you would be open to it?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's a very heavy world to live in, and it was a very taxing role, but I think now being older and being a little bit more wiser, then yeah, I probably would.
And of everybody in the audience, I mean, everybody has seen all the 7 seasons, right?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Please, because if you haven't seen it all, please close your ears for just 1 minute. Yeah. Because you can probably guess what I would want to ask you now.
What's that?
Well, for your final script.
Oh, right.
How did it feel? Did you know this is the final script I'm going to receive, or?
Well, I knew that because I requested to take time off, so I knew that I was going out. Didn't know which way in particular, so yeah, I mean, you know, in order to have some sort of controversy or climax, then that was the way to do it. But yeah, it was weird. It was a weird day to shoot, and it was a funny day on set because we had a splinter cell, which meant that we were shooting another episode at the same time. So didn't really get to work with everyone else. It was just kind of me and Eliza, which in a way was quite nice as well. So yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
But you knew the show was ending, so it must have been must have softened the pain, you know?
Yeah, yeah. In a way, it wasn't. It was. Because I had asked for time off. Like I knew that I was going anyway, so it wasn't a shock to me in any way, shape, or form.
But how is it for you, knowing that what will happen to Bellamy, sitting at home and knowing that nobody in the audience knows the end of the episode? Were you on Twitter? Were you on YouTube? Did you watch live viewings of the fans reacting to your?
No, I actually haven't seen season 6 or 7.
Really?
So I kind of stopped watching at season 5. But yeah, I mean, I watched the episode I directed because I had to. But yeah, no, I haven't actually watched season 6 or 7. So yeah,
But how's that for you, directing 1 episode of The 100 with probably your friends, right?
Yeah.
How's that?
It was amazing. I mean, it was it was funny. I think I was supposed to direct a different episode, but there was like a move around in schedule, and so the episode that I ended up directing, I was actually in the episode quite a lot. So the first 3 days of shooting, I was in every scene whilst I was directing, so that was a real challenge. But
was it harsh?
It was hard, yeah. It was hard, and I remember our first AD thinking that I wasn't going to be able to pull it off, but I did. So I was very proud of them.
Nice. For everybody in the audience, if you have a question, you can ask it. Get in front of the microphone, right in front of the stage.
Oh, right
in
there.
like 1 or 2 minutes, we will go to your questions from the audience. So please, make a line and we will go through them. Because one last question I have for you right now. What will you do as yourself, as Bob Morley, if you were in the 100th? Well, how would you survive? How would you live? Would you do the same as Blake?
Well, if it was me as a 38-year-old man with a son and a wife, we'd probably not hang out with all the kids and just find our own little thing. But yeah, and me surviving in a post-apocalyptic world, I would like to think that I'd survive. I wouldn't necessarily start any fights or anything like that. I'm much more of a pacifist than I am a Bellamy Blake style person.
Because you're much more a nice guy than a bad guy in the series.
Yeah.
Fair. Just maybe...
I don't know if Bellamy's a bad guy.
Well, he's rough, rough.
Yeah, he's harsh, that's for sure.
He's harsh.
Yeah.
Let's go to the first question.
Hi. Going back to season 1,
Yeah.
the first 100 children were criminals sent to Earth. So if you were one of the people being sent to Earth, what would possibly be the reason you were one of the criminals?
What crime would have I committed? When I was younger, I was a bit of a kleptomaniac. Before I went to school, I used to go to the local corner store and steal candy before school. So I never got caught though. So I think probably something like that, stealing rations and whatnot. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Could I just incriminate myself?
Yeah, kind
Am I going to jail?
Hopefully nobody recorded this because,
Oh, God.
Man. Let's go to the next one.
You changed your accent for filming The 100. Was it really hard to change your accent?
Not particularly. I mean, I was going to attempt to do it now. It's been a long time since I've done Bellamy Blake, but no, after 7 years it became quite easy, but no, it's not that hard. Yeah.
I mean, I have to ask you now, could you do the accent now?
Possibly. I could possibly do it. I don't know. He's way down here,
Yeah.
and I talk more up here, so yeah.
That's insane. Nice.
What is one message you would give to your fans?
To be kind to yourselves. It's one of those things, and I think that we need to remind ourselves each day, what are you saying to yourself? What's your inner narrative? Are you being nice to yourself today? And I think it's really important to for all of us to do that for ourselves, is to be kind and not so critical.
Really nice question. And maybe also, you became an actor from outside America, and there are probably people here in the audience who want to become an actor or voice actor or something.
Yeah.
What's the biggest tip you got for them? What should they do?
Well, I think when it comes to being an actor, there's no exact pathway to getting to where you want to be. If you were to ask Eliza the same question, she went through a totally different thing. She started acting when she was 11 and was on TV, whereas I went to university for engineering and I didn't like it, and then started doing acting. I think as long as you have that passion for it and you keep working towards whichever way it is, there's no exact science to getting a job, but it's all about having that passion and just kind of constantly working on that. I mean, there have been times, even though I've been very fortunate as an actor, there are definitely times where I am what am I doing? Should I get a real job? Should I do this? But I've always been in love with the job and being a performer, so that's what keeps me there, is the passion for it.
Nice. Just follow the passion. Next one.
I
just started watching In Limbo, and I was wondering how was the experience of shooting that, because I think we're not super used to seeing you in comedies.
Yeah, I mean, In Limbo it was a really challenging role. It was my first comedy. I was really lucky. The director, Trent O'Donnell, had done a lot of shows like The Good Place and New Girl and Hacks, and so he was really, he's an amazing authority on comedy, and so he really helped me through it. And it's quite an emotional show. It's about something that's very important to me, and that's mental health. and bringing that awareness out there was really an important message to spread. So yeah, I had a really good time doing comedy for the first time. I don't know if you guys will get it here. I hope that you will. I don't know how you watched it, but you did.
A VPN, but...
Yeah. But yeah, I hope everyone gets to see it, and it's something I'm really proud of. Yeah, thank you.
Like, with a VPN, you're also like a little kleptomaniac nowadays.
Yeah, I do it. Still.
Yeah. Ooh, that. Let's go.
I was wondering, what was your favorite season to film in Hollywood?
My favourite season, it's between season 1 and season 3. I think season 1 was so much fun, and it was a really fun storyline for the young crew. And season 3, for me personally, working with Mike Beach was a big shift for me in the way that I approached work. So yeah, season 3 was quite great too. Yeah, I enjoyed those as well. But season 1 was a lot of fun as Bellamy. I really enjoyed playing the bad guy alongside Richard. It was a lot of fun as well. Yeah.
Maybe in the same context, of which season or episode or scene are you the most proud of? Like which, if somebody were to ask you what have you done, what would you show them, first of all?
I mean, I'm really proud of the 100 as a whole. I mean, it's one of the biggest things I've done. In terms of like which episode or season or scene, I couldn't tell you because I put the same amount of effort and passion into the show whenever I was there. You know, and maybe I grew as an actor or I got worse on it, no, but I know that I gave it everything that I had, so as a whole, yeah, I'd say, I actually think that the end of season 5 is probably one of the best episodes. Yeah.
Great answer.
Yes, hello, Bob. Firstly, I really enjoyed you in the 100 and all the things you did. But I have one question.
Yeah.
I want to be a director lately. Do you have any tips for me?
Yeah, it's the similar thing. Like, I'm not sure how the system works here in the Netherlands, but getting into a directing program, going to school for it, building your connections through that is a really important thing. Building a community around you, whether that's like directing your friends here and there, but just creating content and learning how to do that. I think especially now, being able to upload things is a really handy tool. So just getting familiar with terms and context and trying to get your foot in the door through the system is a really important thing. I mean, like I said, with me and my directing, it came through a roundabout way where I was asked to do it. It wasn't something that I considered and then really fell in love with it. But there are, if you go to school for it and then you build a community around yourself and you start creating work, then I think that's a good place to start.
Thank you.
No worries, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Let's go to the next one.
Hello.
What is your favorite scene between Bellamy and Clark?
Favorite scene between Bellamy and Clark? I actually think it's the one where we're on the beach about to go over to Luna's oil rig, and Bellamy's talking to Clark about Octavia, and then they get taken by the swamp men. But that was a really beautiful scene to shoot, and it was just the two of us, and it was like late at night, and it just was really quiet out there, and it just felt like a really strong connection between the two of them, and an honest conversation between Bellamy and Clark, which I really enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you have any favorite song or band to listen to?
I listen to the Avett Brothers a lot. One song that I listen to kind of get me going is I think it's Motown Funk by Bruno Mars.
Uptown Funk. Uptown Funk, yes.
There you go, Uptown Funk. See, I don't know. But I know I like that song. That's a lot of fun.
Nice. Sounds good.
Yeah, thank you.
A great song, by the way. Uptown Funk?
Yeah.
Let's drop.
Yeah, I like it.
Next one.
Hey.
Hi, I've been watching 100 since season 2, and here in the Netherlands it doesn't always air, so I've always been watching it illegally.
Yeah, okay.
And I just want to say,
It doesn't air here.
well,
Thank you.
And I just want to ask if there's any other character you could play in the 100, which would you choose?
I actually, I think everyone played their characters really well, so not in no way am I comparable, but one character that I really loved and I thought was really complex and interesting was Jaarbeurs. Like, he was mad in a really interesting way. So yeah, and I loved what Isaiah did. But I think Jaarbeurs is a really complex man, and that was kind of interesting to watch.
That's cool, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hello.
Hi. Okay, so first of all, I'd really like to compliment on the way you portrayed Bellamy. I think you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
He's a very complex character, and he's also very much a macho guy, whereas you are very bright and like a little bit more bubbly. And I think, at least.
Yeah.
And Bellamy, what would you fit into? Would you rather be Trick Crew or Asgada clan? Which clan in the 100 would you fit into?
Like, I think I'd be Sky Crew still, yeah. I mean, you know, like, I very much believe in science. But then, yeah, I mean, we're living in a science fiction world, but yeah, I think that I'm so molded by the world that we live in that Sky Crew seemed like the most logical place that I'd fit into.
That's fair. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
I was wondering, do you have a favorite dance move? And if you do, would you be comfortable with showing us?
I don't.
No?
And I won't. I don't think I've danced since I've had my knee operation. But yeah, that was like since 2018. And I actually think I need to get an operation on my left knee now. So imagine if I did a dance move and I did my left knee right now, guys, and had to get taken away.
I mean, you still have your hands.
Hey?
Your arms, your hands.
Yeah, it's funny when like
Maybe a breakdance move with your hands?
my son dances every now and then, and when I ask him to dance, this is what he does.
That's adorable.
That's his move. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, while looking you up, I found out you are a contestant in It Takes Two, right? Were you a contestant in Australia on It Takes Two?
What?
It Takes Two, a television
Oh,
show.
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, oh no, is it painful? Because how did it go for you? Aside the acting now, sorry, we'll go back to the question.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like got kicked out on the 5th week or something like that. But it was an experience.
That's not bad, the 5th week.
Not bad, no. But yeah, no, it was an experience learning how to sing. But
Would you ever do it again? Or sing?
I mean, I sing at home and play guitar, but not.
But under the shower then, not a...
Yeah, also, and like sing for Henry and stuff like that. But yeah,
But you wouldn't make a living out of it.
I don't think I could make a living out of it.
No?
No.
Why not? Would you guys pay to see him sing? You could.
That didn't sound like everyone.
Yeah. But you want to would you guys pay to hear Bob sing? There you go.
Oh, there you go. Well, I hear that Ben Barnes sings, so maybe
maybe.
listen to a duet with him later.
Oh, nice. Let's go to the next question.
Hi, my name is Francisca, and we're having a lovely day here at Comic-Con and in the Netherlands on average.
Thank you.
And my question for you is, in the last season of the 100, they have to do a task, like Clark has to do a task like to save all of humanity, and they see their biggest mentor. Who do you personally would have seen in that task?
As his biggest mentor?
As your biggest mentor?
Me?
Yeah, you. Yeah.
Me, Bob Morley?
Yeah.
As my biggest mentor? I mean, this sounds really corny, but now being a dad, it's probably Henry. I mean, like, he teaches me a lot of stuff about myself, even though he's not meaning to, but I think I've learned a lot more about myself being a dad from him.
So sweet. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Krisha, and my question is, what was your favorite behind the scene?
My favorite behind the scenes on the 100. There was a day where can't remember what season it was, but where Ian Kuzik and I were handcuffed to each other, and we were handcuffed to each other for the whole day. And and he's a pretty funny guy. And so that was for me, that was a pretty funny day where he would want to go somewhere, I'd want to go somewhere else, but we were handcuffed to each other. I don't know why the props department didn't, set me free, but I think it was just like a funny thing to do.
But it was really the whole day?
It felt like the whole day.
But like going to the toilet?
Oh, no, I didn't go to the toilet with Henry.
Yeah, but you have to, because if you're stuck
No,
together...
but that's the thing. Like, they could have unlocked me,
Yeah.
but they didn't for some time. But anyway, that was fun.
So you rather didn't go to the toilet?
No, that's right, yeah.
Wow, buy a diaper then.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Claire.
Hello.
My question is, do you see fan edits?
Do you know what?
See fan edits.
Oh,
like
yes.
the edits people make of you.
No, I see some of them, like whatever the algorithm lets me see on like Instagram and that, but yeah, I don't see too many. Do you do them? You make them? Oh, cool. Well, you'll have to show me later on some of your stuff.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Hi, I know I look a little bit funny, but
Hey, you look amazing.
That's cool.
thank you. But as a makeup artist, I'm actually like studying
Yeah.
for makeup, and for some reason, seeing you and Murphy like being absolutely beat up, it was kind of fascinating to me, and it really made me want to work with special effects.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask, like, what's your experience with special effect makeup? Like, did it take long?
Sometimes like the testing process took a long time, so like we'd have to do multiple looks and everything like that. But then once we found the look, it was relatively quick, maybe like an hour and a half. But yeah, I quite enjoy it. It makes me feel very much in character when you've got that stuff. The worst part is like when it's a hot day and you're sweating underneath it, and yeah, it's pretty gross. But yeah, I really enjoy it, especially when it's done well. And our makeup team were really fast and really good. Like they were amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Nice.
Hi.
Hello.
Do you have any career goals for the next couple of years?
I don't know. Yeah, like I mean, I always have goals and dreams and or visions and kind of putting out positive energy, but yeah, I'm not confined by that. I kind of let opportunities come and then see how it plays out. So just an open mind is what I have.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, nice. Good question.
Hello, my name is Queenie. My question is, which couple of the 100 did you like the best?
Which one? What?
Which couple of the 100 did you like the
Which
best?
couple?
Couple.
Oh,
Yes.
Monty and Harper.
What's our
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And why?
Thank you.
Why do you like them the best? Or the
Because
most?
they were like, even though, yeah, they had their ups and downs, they were like the only healthy couple in the end. All the other relationships were really toxic and like aggressive and dramatic, and there was death involved in all of them. Whereas those two, they grew old together and had a child. Like that's pretty good.
It's beautiful.
It's like the only functioning relationship on the show.
It's true.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
So the 100 had a theme song, and I was wondering which song fit or describe the 100 the best.
I was just thinking like, what songs do I know? What popular songs do I know? And for the last year, I've just been singing nursery rhymes. And the only thing that came into my head was the wheels on the bus go round and round.
It's a good one.
So that could be it. I don't know. Yeah, that was, wow, I've not listened to adult music in some time.
I can't wait to see a fan edit of that.
Hey?
I can wait to see a fan edit of that.
Yeah, yeah,
Wheels on the bus
yeah.
with Blake.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
My question is, what was your dream career when you were younger?
When I was a kid, I wanted to be a stuntman. And I guess I've got to do a bit of my own, like I did a lot of my own stunts, but yeah, when I was a little kid, I wanted to be a stuntman. Used to like jump off things and like, you know, climb onto the roof and jump off that or swing off trees. Or one thing I used to do was try and bite through ceramic plates as a kid because I obviously thought I'd need to do that. But yeah, I wanted to be a stuntman.
You have done a few of your own stunts, right?
Yeah.
And how is it? Is it?
It's fine. Like I mean, I really like doing fight sequences. The hardest bit, I think, is, you know, it can take a long time, and you do come home with some bruises, and I broke my hand and, you know, did my knee and had a lot of injuries that came with it, but it's really quite enjoyable in the end. And it's, yeah. Thank you.
If you have to play another character from the Hobbit, which one would you play? Or like switch up?
I think, I mean, like, I would have, like, already said Jaarbeurs, but another character that I think is pretty rad was Octavia. Had an incredible journey, so yeah, Anna Marie did a cool job, like, so, yeah. Octavia is a pretty rad character as well. Yeah, thank you. Hey.
What's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal? I mean, I've got penguins tattooed on me, but I don't know if they're my favorite. I mean, my favorite animal is like my dogs. You know, yeah, I like those. Yeah.
Really great question.
Yeah.
The last one.
Hi. What was your favorite movie or show to act in?
The 100's definitely up there, but for me, it's probably been In Limbo, the one that I recently did, and doing comedy and like playing around was a lot of fun. Like it was a challenge, but also really rewarding. So yeah, I love doing the 100. Bellamy Blake was such an awesome character, and I'd love to do sci-fi again. But in more recent history, then yeah, In Limbo was a lot of fun for me.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Because this whole time we've been talking a lot about the 100, which is of course logical, it's a big show.
Yeah.
But is there a project that you have done that you wished everybody would have seen?
I think, well, I've got a couple of shows out at the moment, but In Limbo is one that's really important to me, and you know, it's about mental health and mental health awareness. I don't really want to talk too much on it. I don't want to upset anyone or trigger anyone, but yeah, it's a very deep show, but also really funny. So that's a show that I'm really proud of. That's out now. Yeah.
So everybody should watch at home at least one episode of In Limbo.
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah, let's go.
Hi, I don't have a question for you, Bob. I'm sorry.
That's alright.
Bardo, I don't know if you remember, but last year you promised me an autograph after the panel, and then you didn't give me one.
Yeah, why didn't you give her an autograph? What's the deal, man?
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Because I used to watch you a lot as like a YouTuber.
Well, I will be conducting the next panel, and at 12 o'clock I will be left of the stage.
I don't believe you.
Oh no.
What are you playing on Twitch right now?
Sorry?
What are you playing on Twitch right now?
Well, I'm a non-gaming Twitcher. How do you know that I'm a Twitcher?
I've heard things.
Oh man! So no way. So you're watching my stream?
No, I just heard that you played it, and I was going to ask, have you played Hogwarts Legacy?
Not yet though. I'm into Diablo 4 and.
Oh right, how's that?
It's great. It's
yeah.
Really,
I played the other Diablos, but I don't think it's like suitable with a little kid around the house.
No, not at all.
And Eliza isn't into it. Like me and Eliza play Hogwarts Legacy together.
Wait, you're a gamer?
Yeah.
Really? What's your favorite game?
Well, I mean, I play it more like I used to play Diablo a lot, and then more like F1. I'm a big F1 fan.
Really?
And Max Verstappen fan.
Really? What? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Are you going to Zandvoort?
I wanted to know, is it close by?
Zandvoort is like 45 minutes away.
No, so it's not that close. I'm too busy. I'm flying back on Monday, but yeah.
Oh wow. Well, thanks. And also thank you.
Left side of the stage.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry.
Promise?
Yeah, I promise. At 12 o'clock. And people can meet you.
You're the worst, mate. You're the worst.
But like one question, it's a bad one.
Yeah. Why did you leave her hanging like that?
I don't know. Maybe I'm an ass. I'm
For
sorry.
like a whole year she's been waiting.
I'm still in shock that you do it on the Twitch. People can meet you the whole day through
Oh yeah,
on the left.
that looks like I'm over there, yeah.
Yeah, right underneath your photo.
Yeah.
People can take photographs, autographs.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah.
Why not? Well, I'm going to thank you for now for this panel. Everybody, give it up for Bob
Thank you so
Morley.
much.